I got orders, boys.
Welcome to a 2v2 on Road to Kharkov. This is going to be between VonAsten and Quentin versus CPU Nonstandard and AchtAchter.
We got a rifle squad waiting for orders.
We have mixed allies in the north and mixed axis in the south, so all four factions will be represented this game. And we have conscript start from VonAsten, double rifleman from Quentin, non-standard going with grenadiers into a machine gun, and Kugelwagen start from AchtAchter, followed up by Volksgrenadiers. Most Axis forces making their way towards the right side. Non-standard actually sending some grenadiers straight for the cutoff and fuel, and Quentin sending his first rear echelon troop straight for the house outside of the Axis base. Send it all the way down across the entire map, and I guess he's going to try and hold that. Well, I don't really think he's going to be able to, but it will give him vision of what's coming. He does see that machine gun, and he will be able to avoid its arc of fire, as long as he's able to see it. Riflemen are making their way up to engage these grenadiers. Looks like he wasn't sure what he wanted to do and decided to charge. Lost one model on approach. The machine gun is about to set up. He's trying to hide behind this haystack. It is setting up now, though, and he's not moving. There he goes, moving behind the haystack. Get out of its arc of fire. Although apparently it can fire through that thing, so fun fact. And he will be forced to retreat. Meanwhile, on the right side, I don't think there have been any engagements yet. Kugelwagen has taken a little bit of light damage from something. Conscripts are forced off the fuel point to avoid getting suppressed, and a Maxim is making its way over there now. Meanwhile, these pioneers actually went straight for the Allied cutoff and have taken it, and are now holed up inside of a building, doing basically exactly what these rear echelon troops are doing. Volley fire going out on these grenadiers. I'm not sure it's going to suppress them before they get into the capture circle, though. There they go. And I don't think that they'll get pinned at that range. Maxim is not successfully suppressing those Sturm Pioneers, and the conscripts in the house will be forced away. Kugelwagen making its way around. And those Volksgrenadiers are not in the arc of fire. Kugel takes a little bit of damage, and then the Maxim will be forced to retreat. Meanwhile, Quentin's second rifle squad has been forced away on the left side by CPU Nonstandard.
We have a fresh grenadier squad.
This fuel has been decapped by the rear echelons there in the back, though. And now they're making their way towards the cutoff, perhaps? I'm not sure what he's planning to do with those. Riflemen grabbing... Nope. Skipping past the cutoff and making their way into this green cover to fire on those suppressed rear echelons. They may be able to keep them suppressed. And they should be able to keep them suppressed. He does need to be careful of that Kugel, though. Rear echelon's moving up to meet up with him. He does see this truck, so if that attempts to set up, it will probably get destroyed. So that's going to delay his tech a little bit. Maxim pins the Sturm Pioneers. More riflemen moving up into the Kugel's arc of fire. Maxim moving up as well.
Ready.
Second Maxim making its way up. Third Maxim making its way up. And a full retreat will be forced. I'm not sure that Kugel is going to get away. It's going to be close. No, there it goes. Sniped by the rear echelons. Very nice. Meanwhile, these riflemen taking a bit of damage from the grenadiers in that house. More riflemen making their way forward. Quentin is up to 4 riflemen now. Hasn't picked a commander yet. VonAsten, on the other hand, has gone guard motor coordination. AchtAchter has also gone fortifications, so we may see some MG34s from him very soon. He's actually floating a bit of manpower, but I think he wants to get his battle group headquarters up. Yes, battle group headquarters going up now. And then MG34s will probably be soon to follow. Getting the Kugelwagen does put a little bit of a dent in your manpower, so he's not floating as much as he would be if he had just skipped that entirely. Axis still holds the left side, and Quentin is kind of struggling to make an impact this game. He did push with his teammate on the right side, and get at least their half of the territory back, but his half of the map is still very much controlled by CPU Nonstandard, having pretty much failed in his attempt to shut down the Oster push, and he's being quite slow to tech up. 75 fuel in the bank and still no officer. Lieutenant is not in production and he can't afford anything else. He could have gotten a lieutenant into utility car by now if he'd wanted to, but he's chosen not to, so I'm thinking he's gonna hold out for captain this game, which he could purchase now if he wanted. Stern Pioneers flanking around these team weapons over here, causing quite a bit of havoc, and it looks like there will be a full retreat on the right side by the Soviets. Meanwhile, a Maxim over here is attempting to assist, and that MG42 in the house is falling low and gets sniped by conscripts in the building. That definitely hurts. Nice play there. Taking out that machine gun. I think those grenadiers will be able to get away, though. Yep, there they go. But AchtAchter has made a lot of progress over here on the right side, setting up an MG34 over here as well. So, Allies picking up that machine gun is a big win, but they really need to get some map control back as soon as possible. Riflemen are taking the cutoff, but they're in yellow cover. We could see a rifle grenade. No munitions for the rifle grenade from CPU Nonstandard, who just purchased an LMG. And he spent a little bit more on his flamethrower as well. And possibly also on a mine somewhere. His teammate has 180, which means that he should have like 200-ish total. I only see 120 of his munitions accounted for, so I think there must be a mine somewhere. But I don't know where it is.
The enemy is taking our territory. The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
Ooh, that looked like it was bad. I think a full squad of conscripts just exploded. I'm pretty sure that's what those are. Nice grenade. So many Maxims from VonAsten. Although he has transitioned into heavy mortars now. It's one conscript, one combat engineer, 3 Maxims. Making heavy use of those team weapons to push himself back onto the map. Meanwhile, the harassment of the left continues from both sides. Looks like the cutoff has been retaken and the fuel will be retaken. Those conscripts will probably be forced to retreat. Molotov going out though. Nice dodge. And the conscripts will retreat. Grenadiers here have decapped this cutoff before making a retreat as well. Rear echelons in the building. Doing some light damage to them.
Jump complete. Give it to him.
To the people in chat, it does count as a ambient building, and you can actually spawn Fallschirmjäger out of them, which is pretty funny. Ostrov trenches. Fun fact. Heavy mortar bombarding this position over here on the right side. And once that heavy mortar gets close enough to start bombing this battle group headquarters, it's going to start to become a real problem. Looks like it's starting to do so already. Nice grenade! Ooh, 3 Stern Pioneer models wiped there by that airborne cooked grenade. The full squad goes down. Big push by these allied infantry into this green cover wall, and there are Thompsons here. In addition to the heavy mortar being thrown, Folks Grenadiers toss a couple grenades, but they kind of dud. They don't really do anything other than taking out some rifleman models, and a full Folks Grenadier squad will also go down. This push is just doing tons of damage. A third squad possibly? No, he deactivates his retreat point and runs back to base. Hopefully, yes, that squad will get out alive, and hopefully he won't lose any more full squads as the airborne are now being forced to retreat. Assistance from his teammate has arrived on the flank, and his battle group headquarters took a little bit of light damage, but nothing too catastrophic. Hopefully, his teammate will be able to repair that for him since his Stern Pioneers are dead. Nice push by the Allies, though, inflicting heavy losses and sustaining very little of their own. But again, map control is a concern. They are trading well in these engagements, but they really need to get some territory back. which is not easy on road to Kharkov, especially with a cutoff that's so easily harassed.
Under attack! Panzer Grenadiers standing by.
Schwer Panzer headquarters going up here. Oh no, Thompson's just finished upgrading on that squad and they're gonna go down for sure. Ooh, he should have canceled that upgrade. There was no chance of them getting home alive. That was a huge waste of 90 munitions. That is a shame. I'm also kind of surprised to see double Thompson upgrades on this map, which so favors long-range engagements. He is doing a good job of using them in close quarters where possible, mostly here in the middle. But in general, this map favors long-range engagements in these open fields, so he's gonna kind of struggle, I think, to be relevant there, especially since before hitting Vet 2 they are not all that durable.
Enemy rifleman!
Grenades and mortars being exchanged, heavy damage on that Panzer Grenadier squad, but they should get away alive. And the captain is going to find the Schwer Panzer headquarters soon if he attempts to harass this cutoff. Yep, there it is. Takes some damage from flamethrowers, and a big blob of Ostherr infantry is making its way over. Spew Nonstandard going with 2 Panzer Grenadiers and 4 Grenadiers. He has LMG upgrades on almost all of those Grenadiers, but if he clumps this hard, he puts himself at risk from heavy mortar fire. The Soviet heavy mortar is here, kind of far back, but I believe it does have the ability to bombard this area. There's also a demo charge here from VonAsten, and if he were to blob over that, it could be catastrophic, and it looks like he's about to. Oh no. Oh no, here it comes. Oh, I think he detonated that a little bit early though. I think he could have possibly gotten all 3 squads if he had been a little bit more patient. Meanwhile, this Panzer Grenadier squad is way overextended though. I think it might go down as well. Oh, and sniped at maximum range by that rifle blob. So that is bad. CPU Nonstandard lost 3 full squads there. 2 Grenadiers, one of which had an LMG upgrade, and 1 Panzer Grenadier squad, and he's producing some fresh Grenadiers to replace his losses now. He has not picked a doctrine yet, by the way, but 2 of his commanders do have access to the Tiger tank. I would be somewhat surprised if he were to take close air support, but I guess we'll see what he decides to do. And map control situation still not looking great for the Allies, although the map is pretty much split in half. There are 2 victory points in Axis hands, which means that the clock has stopped, and it will start ticking against the Allies now. Finally. Reinforcement happening here on the right side. And it looks has hit the field, doing some light harassment with that. Heavy mortar firing.
Field promotion just came through.
Ostherr mortar also firing. I think that this rifleman squad could go down. I don't think he's watching it. Yep, there it goes. He's busy with this push over here on the right. He really wants to get that looks, but he disengages knowing that it's probably not going to happen. Thompson paratroopers also being forced to retreat. Meanwhile, the Soviet player has fielded some guards. Kind of failed to dodge that grenade. He probably would have taken less damage if he had just stayed in green cover. How's the heavy mortar doing? This one has only 1 kill. This one has 8, doing a little bit better. Hasn't been using them very aggressively, so he hasn't been able to apply pressure to this this battle group headquarters. Molotov goes out, could go down. Yes, it gets sniped by this rifle squad, and they may be able to pick up that MG34 as well. Although the MG42 that he initially stole is gone. I don't even know what happened to it. And we do see a Sherman cooking now. And he's placed his major retreat point by his teammate's base so that he can get some of that Soviet healing.
Tank support is here. Sherman ready.
And the Sherman's on the field. VonAsten, on the other hand, has not teched at all. He's probably just going to hold out for T-34 85s. Nice dodge. Guards will be forced to retreat, and they dropped their PTRS, although I'm not sure he intends to pick it back up. I think he would have if he was going to. Sherman making its way up the left side. Nice opening shot on that machine gun. Looks like he may be able to steal this if he doesn't react soon. Although I'm not sure what he's doing. That was a slightly weird maneuver. I almost feel like that machine gun was going to get away if that shot had missed. Almost, probably not. Captain takes the MG42, continues capturing the point. Thompson paratroopers are going to look for other opportunities on the map. And again, I'm kind of surprised that these heavy mortars aren't moving up just ever so slightly to start bombarding this position. Just leaving them AFK to auto-fire isn't necessarily always that effective because of how they just fire really slowly. So they're really good against static targets and not so much just kind of randomly firing wherever on the map. Pak-43 going up, but it got caught by the Sherman. Smoke barrage going out on the Schwer Panzer headquarters to clear the way for these paratroopers, which are charging those Grens at close range. They stand no chance. Lux is making its way forward to harass the paratroopers, but the Sherman still has high explosive rounds equipped. He is switching now. He had to cancel the Pak-43, so it's no longer under construction. Demo charges are about to go up on this Schwer Panzer headquarters, but the smoke has cleared and they're taking massive damage. 1 demo charge gets planted, 2 demo charges get planted. He retreats the squads. Oh! But he couldn't get clear in time and loses his Vet 2 Thompson paratrooper squad. But he does take out the Schwer headquarters at quite a high cost, though, as the Raketenwerfer and Volksgrenadiers take out his Sherman as well. So he lost a full paratrooper squad and a Sherman to take out that Schwer Panzer headquarters and nothing else, which will delay his opponent's tech, but he sustained very heavy losses. And AchtAchter was really hoping that wasn't going to happen, I think, because he's now floating 900 manpower and 200 fuel, and he can no longer purchase Panthers. He now has to make the decision of holding out for King Tiger or rebuilding his Schwer Panzer headquarters and getting a Panther out. Which, honestly, are going to take roughly the same amount of fuel to do. But, of course, the Panther's not the only thing that can be produced by the Schwer Panzer headquarters. His Obersoldaten will no longer be hitting the field either. And as fortifications doctrine, he can't even use Fallschirmjäger for elite infantry, so he really has... Oh no! Quentin just lost his full captain squad! What was he doing? He's just getting torn to shreds by that looks. And this squad only has 1 PTRS, if I'm correct. They're taking heavy losses as well. This looks is just tearing Allied infantry to pieces this game.
Pinpointed the enemy and are prepared to saturate them with fire.
I'm not sure I agree, Fortune. I mean, at least it worked. If it hadn't worked, that would have been extremely bad. But I still think he traded poorly. The King Tiger's on its way now, and he lost a lot. Losing that to Sherman mostly is, and the paratroopers, he just lost a lot of stuff. But I mean, ooh. I'm not sure those Panzer Grenadiers are getting away from this. He was being really greedy there, trying to take out that Sherman. Ooh. And there they go. And more Thompsons being purchased. That is like what, his 4th Thompson squad? I'm not sure if that count is correct. Either 3rd or 4th. I know one got wiped like immediately. I think that's his 3rd. Sherman getting some repairs here. As for the Soviet player, continues to do harassment and pushes with his Maxims and AT guns over here on the right. Has not really transitioned his forces into anything other than what he's been doing for the last 10 minutes. Although he has thrown some guards onto the field. And again, I don't know how many times I've stated this, but I'll say it again. His heavy mortars need to move up and put some pressure on this battle group headquarters. Ooh, that was a cute little grenade. Throwing it through the forest. Now rounding the corner, but he's gonna run straight into some ogres. Taking heavy damage. Lost 2 models already. And then he will be forced to retreat. He is busy microwing an engagement over here on the left side, and a Tiger has hit the field, and that is going to be Lightning Ward Doctrine chosen. So he will also have access to stupid close air support later, which is of course extremely deadly against allied, well, American tanks. Still actually quite good against Soviet tanks. T-34-85s in particular probably be pretty good against those, so I suspect we'll be seeing that in about 2 minutes actually. If he can conserve his munitions. These T-34-85s. And it looks like they're headed straight down the left side to try to deal with that Tiger. I don't think that they're going to win, though. There is probably going to sustain a Panzerfaust here. There is a pack screening as well. Yep, and he's already going to be forced back for repairs. I think those Grenadiers should be able to get away safely. In fact, it looks like that Tiger is thinking about going in hard on this. He may be able to take that out. Yes, he is. The pack is moving up to support, and the T-34 has a damaged engine. Conscript's moving up to support. There's also a field gun over here, but it's blocked by this house. First Tiger shot does massive damage. Pack is well positioned, very nicely positioned. This one is trying to flank around behind. Marked vehicle also going up. Pack is firing. And that one goes down, no problem. Tiger continuing to block the T-34 a little bit. It is taking pretty heavy damage though from Panzerschreck squad. Panzerschreck and Bazooka, in fact, on that rifleman. And a Sherman is moving up to assist. They really need to try and take this thing out now. If they don't trade, then they've taken massive losses for nothing. Oh, and the field gun snipes it at max range. Nice. Very nice. If that had not happened, then that would have been 2 T-34-85s and a Sherman down without trading, so that was definitely a lucky break that they needed. Meanwhile, Thompson paratroopers are making their way towards this Pack 43. Grenade going out, nicely dodged though. Trying to take out those oversold, but there's just too much stuff in the area and they are not able to stay there. So they will be forced to retreat. Nice usage of S-mines protecting the approach to the Pack 43. You could tell that those Thompsons kind of had to dance around them a little bit.
One of our forward structures has been destroyed.
And AchtAchter now has 230 fuel. He has repurchased his Schwer Panzer headquarters and put it in pretty much the exact same location here. Bunker protecting it as well. Now, the loss of that Tiger does hurt a little bit, but the King Tiger will be arriving in about like 2.5 minutes. Looks taking heavy damage from the field gun. Stolen pack making its way over there as well. Conscripts throw a Molotov, get one flame crit, the rest will retreat. And they will begin decapturing that point. Guards making their way across the right side to try and take out the Vet 2 looks. It has 18 kills. It is using concealed movement right now, but he's not giving up the chase. Firing now. There's only one PTRS in this squad, and it keeps on like dancing around. Just fire the damn thing. There it goes. He only had one PTRS, but he made it count, and the Vet 2 looks finally goes down. Ironically, if he had not been in concealed movement, he probably could have just killed that guard squad and potentially gotten away a little faster as well. Full blob will retreat away from Quentin's blob. His blob is a little more scary. He has 2 Thompson paratroopers in there, and again, the Obersoldaten have not been hitting the field because the Schwero has been down for so long, has been since reconstructed, and a Panther is on the way. Ooh, fresh Tiger from CPU Nonstandard moving up to assist though. Thompson paratroopers do clear out a mortar, throw a grenade, another grenade. Oh, almost wiping that squad. I don't know if he's going to be able to seal the deal. He's trying. He activates tactical assault, but he takes massive damage as a result. Now his movement is slowed. Terrible usage of tactical assault there. That was, I don't know what he was thinking. He just took a massive burst of damage as a result of doing that. But yeah, I don't even think he wiped that squad either. So that was a mistake. That was definitely a mistake. Oh. Maxton moving up on the left side, taking those munitions. We also have, ooh, a heavy mortar blasting those Obersoldaten there. They're going to need to reposition. Volksgrenadiers grabbing the central victory point. Jackson making its way across the right side to counter the Tiger. Repairs going up on the battlegroup headquarters as well. If only the heavy mortar were barraging this position this entire game. Just the possibilities are endless. Jackson getting into very close range here, dangerously close. He knows there's a Tiger. He doesn't know about the Panther, although he's about to. But the Tiger has since repositioned to the left side to counter the Maxim.
Time for action. Enemy infantry! Rocket fire! Volksgrenadiers back full strength.
Tiger moving up, field gunshot bounces, rifle grenade goes off, and it will get cleared. The Raketenwerfer is going to immediately retreat. American stolen machine gun making its way forward to try to slow the capture of the left side victory point, but the Tiger's going to have no problem clearing that out. And yeah, I guess I was wrong about that King Tiger. He chose to get a Panther instead, so. See if he can make that work. Probably a good decision because he now has access to Obersoldaten once again, although he hasn't. Oh no! Heavy mortar wipes the Shrek squad. He hasn't been purchasing Obersoldaten though. He still only has this one squad. He needs to get a few more of those out. That'll definitely help him deal with this. But his Panther's just gonna have to do it for now. And of course his teammate is offering a lot of help. The second set of T-3485s is finally here. Engine damage on one of them. That Jackson is still getting repaired, but a pack and the stolen Panzer Shrek have moved up to support. The Grenadiers get pinned. Meanwhile, the Thompson paratroopers catch that squad of Volksgrenadiers and deal a little bit of damage to it, but it will be able to retreat unharmed thanks to suppression from this bunker. And the PaK-43 continues to provide a nice screen from armored pushes across the left side, although it's falling quite low. This squad of Thompsons is still looking for opportunities, trying to find a way to get into close range against it. Meanwhile, the T-3485 gets a shot off on the bunker. PaK moving up, machine guns moving up from the Allies as well. And the Tiger quite badly needs repairs, but he also needs to utilize it in this engagement to prevent any priority targets from going down, including the PaK-43. Meanwhile, harassment of the right side victory point. Very nice. These team weapons could probably be moved up towards the center. Thompson's going to take the center victory point. Left side victory point will be taken by this Raketenwerfer. And the PaK-43 just took out that T-34, which got a little bit too close. Need to stay out of its range. Ooh, Thompson's throw a grenade and clear out a mortar. Nice grenade. This heavy mortar actually has moved into a much more aggressive position now. But there is a counter barrage coming in from both of these actually. Lots of mortar battles happening. The scatter on the German mortar is actually quite high. Oh, but there's his lottery win. Makes up for it, of course, with an extremely high rate of fire. Okay, very close to getting decrewed, which would be a shame because it's Vet 2. And it looks like it's gonna get away. Allies are now going to push the right side, experiencing little success in the center and left. Oversoldaten getting suppressed, Panther moving up to assist, but the Panzerschreck gets a nice shot off there. Fresh Jackson moving up to counter this Tiger on the left side. Molotov kind of misses the Grenadiers, which clear out a field gun before retreating. I guess the suppression was a little bit scary and he didn't want to take like a heavy mortar and lose anything. And this is turning out to be quite the slugfest. 32 minutes in and both teams have still got almost 300 victory points remaining. And they're actually both teams are doing a very nice job of trying to harass all three locations at all times. The Allies are currently having the most success in that regard, while the Axis tanks are back for repairs. Thompson's trying to go in deep and wipe that Vet 2 Oversoldaten squad. But he's about to lose his stolen Panzerschreck for no reason. That is a shame. Every time Quentin makes a play, he loses like 2 full squads. Oh, close air support takes out a full Jackson. Oh man, that ability is just really powerful against American tanks. Lost the full thing right there. Molotov forces away that machine gun there. Allied victory point control is faltering. They are losing the right side to a big push by the Axis tanks. And the fact that a Jackson just went down and Stuka close air support is covering the entire area means this T-34 can't really do much. The other T-34 being dead certainly doesn't help either. Tiger moving up with Panther support. Stuka close air support strafed something over here. I'm not sure what that was. Field gun gets cleared. There is, oh wow, quite a bit of anti-tank weaponry set up here for that Tiger, and the T-34 may try to block. Marked vehicle going off on it. Will they go down? Oh, so close! That T-34 should have continued the chase. That Tiger's going to get away. Oh, it will not get away! The Jackson takes it out just as he thought he was going to round the corner. Nice usage of that Jackson there. Continues its advance, gets a nice shot off on the Panther, which will continue to retreat away from it, and the Jackson will continue to pursue. Panther does get a nice shot off on the Jackson. Jackson shot misses. Jackson continues its push. The Panther's falling dangerously low. Oh, but the Panther snipes the Jackson. And the Panther should be fine, and a fresh Tiger has been fielded, and CPU Nonstandard is really struggling to keep Tiger alive until his next one can arrive. And having 2 Tigers out simultaneously is really just way more powerful than just one. And the Allies' timing on taking out those Tigers before the second one hits the field has been pretty much just barely where it needs to be to prevent them from getting overwhelmed. And you can tell that they're just barely managing to trade not cost effectively, but barely managing to trade at all. Taking heavy losses every time they manage to take anything down. More so from Quentin than from VonAsten, who actually has still got a pretty healthy force, but Quentin just has like nothing left. I'm not sure what happened. I don't know what happened that he's laughing about. Molotov clears out that mortar. Heavy losses here from the Overcommando West player as well, who has very little left other than his Panther, but of course that Panther is his most important unit. Ooh, huge damage on that Tiger from something. What did that? That just took like a ton of damage. I don't even know what happened. And we'll pull back for repairs. Should actually get repaired extremely quickly though. And the Allied victory point control continues to be very strong. Very strong indeed. And I'm kind of surprised that more hasn't been dedicated to taking out these heavy mortars. A big push by all of the Axis tanks, for example, to try and get rid of that indirect fire would probably go a long way. But it can be difficult when also simultaneously trying to deal with these big Allied pushes. Quentin constantly hurling his paratroopers straight at this battle group headquarters, and the machine guns and such that have been set up in their way just keep getting stolen and decrewed by grenades and mortar fire. Demo charge will get cancelled. Jackson moving up across the left side. Its shot bounces. Pack being moved up to screen as well. The Tiger has been fully repaired and taking nice shots at those paratroopers, which will be forced to retreat. The Raketenwerfer is set up to fire on this pack, but it can only do so much. As in, it does literally nothing. I'm surprised that field gun is not attacking ground. Or utilizing its high explosive barrage. T-34-85 moving up here, and VonAsten has the resources for a second set, but he is pop-capped currently, waiting for some units of his to die. Which looks like it's going to happen soon. Close air support misses that T-34-85. Nice dodge. A second Panther is on the field now, however. The Pak-43 has been completely destroyed by heavy mortars, I think. Only 100 points remaining for the Axis. They really need to make something happen now. Taking control of the right side victory point would certainly help, but the fresh set of T-34-85s has been fielded, which will bring him up to 3, which will be quite difficult for 2 Panthers to take on, especially with marked vehicle.
Down to 75 points.
75 points remain, but finally the Axis was slow to the clock. They still need to grab control of another victory point as well. Harassment attempt on the left side is failing, and a field gun has moved up to take shots on the Schwerer Panzer headquarters, which is already down to about 3/4. And it looks like it will get screened by these grenadiers. Meanwhile, American infantry are making their way up the left side. Field gun has been cleared. Riflemen. I'm not sure what those riflemen are thinking. Charging to their doom.
We are losing the sector.
And they're dead. Nice rifle grenade, forcing an immediate retreat from those Thompsons. The second Thompson squad, however. What is that Tiger doing? Second Thompson squad will disengage. Takes the shot from the Tiger. In the center, the Obersoldaten have successfully taken the point. The 3 T-34-85s are moving up, and VonAsten has lost almost all of his infantry except for 3 Maxims and 1 of his heavy mortars. Frangible grenade goes off, lots of grenades being exchanged, heavy damage on everything here. Those Obers should retreat. What are they doing? Oh no, they could go down to those Thompsons. They are Vet 2. Wow, I can't believe they survived that retreat. Vet 2 Panther is leading the charge. Its frontal armor bonus should help in this engagement. They're trying to round the corner. Jackson moving up with T-34 support. Oh no! Oh, that Panther shot from the back just barely whisked by that Jackson, missing by a hair. And all tanks will pull back to safety.
Ready to deploy!
And these German mortars have actually, despite having been decrewed so many times, I think are doing quite nicely. Having their own indirect fire, of course, goes a long way against the Soviet indirect fire, and it looks like a Stuka is now on the field. Almost taking out that Jackson again, and the heavy mortar will be forced to retreat. And the Stuka is a very nice, safe counter to the Soviet heavy mortar.
Tank destroyer is ready for action.
Axis are now in control of all 3 victory points. Things are kind of turning around.
Armor here. Enemy rifleman!
They just kicked us off the grenade!
Nice dodge. Takes minimal damage. Tiger moves up to encounter the T-34. Panzerfaust goes out, and it's got its engine damaged. There's also a pack there in the back. Will it go down? Yes, it does. 2 more T-34s are moving up to try and trade, but the Jackson's kind of interfering with pathing. If he's about to lose a second one the exact same way, Panzerfaust will be off cooldown soon. He's taking massive damage. Stupid close air support. Oh no, that was a P-47 rocket strike. Excuse me. Jackson gets a nice shot from maximum range, and the rockets are firing, but they're firing on the Panthers. And one of the P-47s has already been shot down. Ooh, that Panther just hit a mine. And that's the Vet 2 Panther as well. Jackson going crazy deep trying to finish off that Tiger, but it isn't working, and both Jacksons get destroyed. The Panther, in the meantime, is sustaining P-47 fire, and it will definitely go down to this T-34, I think. Yeah, there it goes. And the T-34 is pulling back to safety now. Both Allied players are on their last legs. Quentin has nothing but 3 paratrooper squads. Stupid close air support has been called in. P-47 strike fails to do anything here, and the plane crashes.
We're back to full strength. We've dropped to 200 points.
And now it's pretty quiet. The Allies have to rebuild their forces. They have 200 points remaining, which is good. But they didn't trade very well during that, losing 2 Jacksons, a bunch of T-34s, taking out only 1 Panther. Not to mention their infantry. Well, everybody's infantry forces are looking pretty bad, actually. I guess CPU Nonstandard has some stuff. He has some like recruit team weapons, mortar, and he's looking pretty good. He's only got 1 vetted Grenadier squad though. Having 2 Tigers is certainly nice, however, so he's definitely way ahead in armor. Meanwhile, AchtAchter's Stuka is going to be a pretty serious problem for any remaining Allied infantry. Quentin's paratroopers, for example, could start getting picked off by those, and he keeps fielding fresh squads. Stuka firing now. Nice dodge though. Looks like that inflicted 0 casualties. The Tigers are about to make their way back up the right side from the look of things. Panther has also been fully repaired. charging straight in on those Obersoldaten, but they retreat, and he's also forced to retreat. Massive casualties being inflicted by this Tiger on the right side, screening quite nicely. Those conscripts will get pinned. The Axis victory point control holds pretty strong, except for here in the center. The paratroopers will successfully take that. Panther not particularly well equipped to stop them without a top-mount machine gun. Thompsons are going to decrew that mortar, though.
Paratroopers ready for action. Tank destroyer is ready for orders.
Allies are really struggling to make a big push. VonAsten will have the resources for another set of T-34s in a couple minutes, which is time that they barely have at this current rate. Fortunately, holding on to the center victory point. With what little forces they have remaining, Quentin also throwing out Jacksons as quickly as he can produce them. Only has to work with only one. Oh, nice shot on that Tiger, but the pack will scare it away. Obersoldaten failed to take the center. These triple vet Thompson paratroopers are finally durable enough to actually close in and deal some damage. It's just a matter of not getting overwhelmed or suppressed. Fresh bunker going up here. We also have a Stuka firing. Nicely aimed on that Vet 2 heavy mortar. Perfectly placed, and it gets decrewed. Paratroopers get pinned and will not be able to take the left side victory point. T-34 does chase away some... Ooh! Obersoldaten on the right side, inflicting huge damage. Fresh Panther has been fielded, moving up to counter the T-34. There's a field gun to screen. A little bit of damage being inflicted there, trying to force these paratroopers off point. This Panther actually taking heavy damage from that field gun. Marked vehicle going out, and what is it doing? Oh my goodness, what a huge waste of that Panther. That was a horrible maneuver by AchtAchter there. I think that he kind of got stuck on the victory point a little bit with pathing, and he was like pivoting around and just got taken out so quick. Trying to take the left side victory point. Every time they do, they get pinned and blasted by this Tiger, taking heavy damage. The high explosive barrage from the Zis gun is just not connecting. It's not even close to connecting at all, and everything gets taken down. There, finally. Ooh, almost wiping that squad out, but it looks like it's going to try to take the point. Might get wiped by the field gun, though, although I think it may have lost vision. Meanwhile, on the right side, Obersoldaten continuing to battle these Allied infantry, which are just swarming the victory points. In the center, Axis infantry supported by a Tiger taking the victory point. Not much that can stop them. There is a field gun and an American AT, or no, excuse me, an American AT gun and a Jackson available to counter. And a Soviet field gun from another angle. Tigers taking heavy damage. Thompson paratroopers moving up. Might wipe that vetted Grand squad. There it goes. And then they will retreat. He was too clumped. He didn't want to risk taking a nasty Tiger shot. Second Tiger making its way up to the left side. All three victory points in Axis hands once again. And the clock will continue to tick. Only 75 points remaining for the Allies. They have to make something happen now, which might happen with this fresh set of T-34-85s hitting the field, making its way down the left side, and he might try and go in hard on that Tiger. There is a pack. Vet 2, second Tiger here. Alright, he's going to try and take out this Tiger here. P-47 strafe being called in. T-34 is going in hard. The first T-34 is about to go down. Ooh, rockets deal heavy damage to the Pioneers, and the P-47 finishes it off. Tiger goes down, and the T-34 is in, has taken heavy damage, but he catches that Stuka out of position. Will he get it? No, it just barely escapes into the fog of war. He's now flanking around behind this Panther. It's the only Panther remaining after losing the vetted Panther. The T-47 strike going in on the Tiger over here. Heavy damage inflicted on it as well. It looks like an American AT gun was also chasing, as well as the Jackson, which died somehow. I missed however that happened. I'm not sure. The T-34-85s have cleared out the field gun, and the Panther is continuing to try to do what it can over here. Paratroopers desperately attempting to stop the victory point drained. 38 points remaining and the clock has stopped. Meanwhile, engine damage on that Panther, but it's taking massive damage. Oh, and there it goes. The Tiger wants to take out the T-34, but it may get to safety here, and it's so low it can't really afford to be doing anything too risky. The loss of that Tiger could be devastating. It's such a crucial part of this game. Oversoldaten trying to retake the right side. Paratroopers desperately attempting to stop them, but I don't think they have a chance against a Vet 3 Ober squad. In the center, the conscripts and Oversoldaten are going to fight for the point, but zeroing artillery just got called in, I would think probably in desperation, since I assume AchtAchter knows that that ability is bugged and virtually useless, but when things are coming down to the wire this close, you don't have much choice. Oversoldaten get wiped, the Maxim is trying to capture the point, and it will remain whited. This MG-34 may wipe it though, it's extremely low. Using armor-piercing rounds, it does get suppressed. Oh, zeroing artillery just isn't quite landing for him. Panzer Grenadiers are making their way to the front lines, however. 23 points remaining for the Allies. The clock continues to tick against them. Nice Stuka barrage, almost wiping out that paratrooper squad, but he retreated his Panzer Grenadiers a little bit prematurely, and finally it looks like the Allies may be able to get a victory point into their hands, slowing the clock but not stopping it. They really need to get a second one. Guards moving up on basically dead MG-42 over here on the left side. Will they be able to kill it? It's Vet 3. They're suppressed. They need to wipe that. Thompson paratroopers inflict massive damage, however, on the right side, and the clock will get stopped with 10 points remaining for the Allies. These guards may get pinned before they can kill this if they don't land just one bullet. Just one bullet. They got pinned, but Thompson paratroopers are on their way. A Tiger is also on its way. First shot missed, and the Thompsons easily clear that machine gun out at medium range. Oh, devastating shot from that Tiger. I don't know if he's going to be able to wipe this point. No, perfect. Two perfect shots from that Tiger, and he is unsuccessful. Meanwhile, the center victory point will get whited by these Pioneers. Conscripts are desperately charging towards the center. If we look at the Allied armies, they are really on their last legs. Again, down to only 2 paratrooper squads from Quentin and only a conscript and guard squad, as well as his T-34s here. Conscripts steal the MG-42. Pioneers have whited the point, and the clock is stopped for both sides. Mortars falling on this machine gun inflict some damage, and the Pioneers look like they are going to be able to win this fight with Tiger support. A Major is being deployed to the center to try and desperately stop the capture of this point. A T-grenade goes off on the Tiger, and 2 T-34s are charging in. Stuka close air support just missed both of these tanks horribly because it was firing on the infantry, it looked like. And I think this Tiger's going to go down, and it is a Vet 2 Tiger now about to go down, and the Pioneers are not standing in the center capture circle. There they go. They do reposition into the circle to attempt to stop the capture of this point by this Major. Major is about to die at close range to those Pioneers, and there he goes! The Pioneers wipe the Major squad, and they will not be able to capture the center point. Panzer Grenadiers will attempt to capture the center, but they're going to be under T-34 fire. Meanwhile, on the right side, some paratroopers just barely managed to force away some Obersoldaten before being forced away themselves by a mortar. T-34s in the center will be able to hold this point. There is a pack moving up to counter, however. This Jackson is moving right into the arc of fire of 2 packs, in fact. Well, that was a field gun. And it goes down immediately. I don't even know what that thing was doing. And a desperate charge on the left side looks like it's going to fail. Nice usage of the late game half-track by CPU Nonstandard to give him the ability to reinforce on the victory point. Nicely placed grenade almost wipes it, but it will be able to reinforce, and it is doing so now. Combat engineers wipe it. But the guards are already pinned. The left side victory point will not fall to the Allies. The right side is being retaken. GG, well played, being exchanged. The victory points will count down, and that will conclude the game. Well played by both teams. Indeed, quite the slugfest clocking in 55 minutes, and the Axis just barely pull it out in the very end. That definitely could have gone either way. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.